Hello, people. I'm here. It is Monday, the 22nd of July. Cheers. Got on my Audra t-shirt. Brett Helm, another VC member. I haven't checked in and seen if Brett's made any videos lately. But his band, I met his brother when I opened for Chrome a few years ago. He was in town, Jason. Well, folks, the break from the daily videos has really been necessary and timely. My focus has necessarily had to switch in recent weeks to issues regarding my home and my car. I haven't bought a single record in July because I can't afford it. I spent over $3,000 in repairs on the car. On top of that, insurance. I have the sidewalk issue, which is still not done. But also, it's come to my attention through my neighbor Raymond, my cousin. The tree in my backyard is intertwined with the power lines, and the tree is one of the trees is dead. I hadn't really been noticing it, and since he's been gardening, he has become alarmed that the tree is dead and is going to fall. But the other thing that he noticed is that it's all intertwined with my power lines, our power lines. So we're trying to get a hold of the power company to see if we can get them to come and trim the tree from the power lines, and that might do the trick. Because we should be able to get that done for free because of the power line situation. Anyway, I have to make some calls today. My neighbor Raymond was calling. He's been talking about it constantly for the last few days with everyone in the neighborhood that he can talk to besides me. It's like he's so worried, and I told him, Raymond, now that it's brought to my attention, I'll make calls to the OPPD as well, power company. But I'm not going to worry. He's really worried. And my mom was like that. She worried about stuff as if worrying about it will somehow help things change. And I told him, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll make the calls, but, nothing else I can do. So the only new music that I have to show is a CD that I received from someone that got a hold of me through Bandcamp. And Serena Jara, I believe is the name. Serena Jara. And the name of the CD is Son of Nephilim. There's Serena. Don't know this person, but they sent me a letter and asked if they could send me their music, and were complimentary about how I show a variety of stuff on my channel. I said, yeah, send it, because again, if you think enough of your music to send me a physical copy, I'll review it. First thing I noticed is the artwork, a lot of artwork, very, very homemade. It's the artwork. It almost looks like it's the actual drawings themselves and paintings, or however these were made. Are these paintings? Is this some interesting stuff? My first impressions are the music is it's I like it. It sounds like the person is working in the digital domain for the most part, but also possibly some live instruments. There's some spoken word on here. I haven't listened to the whole thing. My overall impression is I like this. It strikes me that the music is a journey and also um, probably about expressing some needed, just maybe cathartic for the artist, Serena. I like it actually. The Laurel Halo comes to mind. Some of it kind of strikes me like that. And yeah, I like it. That's the main thing I can say. I will look up the Bandcamp address and post it for you if you're interested. So no new records, and frankly, I have been not taking a break from playing records, but it's like this, cycles. And I have gone actually through long cycles where I'm hardly playing records. I'm doing other stuff. I'm recording. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm binging on television because for some reason, all the Marvel superhero movies are showing up on YouTube in HD, and I grew up on Marvel and DC comics, collected them with my older brother, so I love that stuff. And so I've been binge watching superhero movies, the Avengers, um, Wolverine, X-Men, etc. Really enjoying it. It's been an interesting week otherwise, nationally and internationally, hasn't it? I'm just observing. This is a very strange time regarding the world of power and politics. Nothing like this ever before in my lifetime, where the president just steps down and now what? We'll see how badly the misinformation, sexism, racism, hate will be ramped up by a certain party to attack, most likely Harris, who will most likely be the nominee now. I'll vote for her. Sure ain't voting for the GOP. I'm not rich. I'm not rich and think I'm entitled. They don't represent me. Nothing at all. That's what I got to say about that. There's, what's strange? I bought a mouse and it just stopped working. And I bought some new batteries and it still just stopped working. So I'm back to the old mouse that comes in and out. I really wanted to buy a mouse with USB, but I couldn't find one. With the actual cord. They're all Bluetooth these days. So in looking at to show honestly what else I've played in recent times, besides my own music, because that has been the project, continuing to archive my cassettes and listening to it. The stuff from Japan, it's like I was surprised I did so much music in Japan I'd forgotten about. But along those lines, Akiko Yano, this is a CD of hers that I've had for years and just always forget what it sounds like. And what it is it's not a nice... I love that. I love artwork. And what this is a series of duets with her on piano and other singers. It's all in Japanese. I recognize most of the tracks from her. You could even call them maybe some of her greatest hits. I don't know if they are hits. Maybe they are in Japan. But I'm real familiar with the songs because I love them so much. So that's something else I can show you. some key. That's what's going on. Yeah, yeah. So hoping to make some progress on some of these home issues. I don't see myself getting to the roof this year. I don't think I can afford that. But I have roof damage because of the more intense rainstorms that we're having now with the hail, and I really don't care about people who don't think things are different with the weather. I do. It's from my experience. It's not from something I read. It's from experience and my memory. I'll even share this. I don't know how long ago it was. It's been over 10, 15, I don't even, maybe even 20 years ago that I personally noticed the sun. It's like, it might just be me. I might be crazy, but I'm saying it. I remember when I started to just notice how sunlight didn't feel the same or really look the same to me as when I was younger. And yeah, it doesn't look as yellow as it used to when I was a kid. I know that might sound strange, but it doesn't. Even now, it doesn't. The sunlight doesn't feel the same, doesn't look the same. Things are changing. So the other thing to share that's somewhat music related, well, it is music related, but not anything to do with my record collection, is the other activity that I've been involved in this summer is being a judge for local youth talent shows. And we had the finals for the season last night at a local park. And every time I judge, I'm the only judge. I'm the only consistent judge. Every time I go, there's new people as judges. That part is kind of cool because I meet people who are involved in the arts and music locally. The first time was people I knew. The last two times were people I had never met before. And then last night was a dancer and a guy from theater who I had never met, but the dance woman, who's a professor, remembered me from RAF blowing away the OEA awards ceremony when we played live a few years ago. They had never seen anything like that. I love it. So anyway, what I want to say is I love watching and seeing how children are involved in the arts in spite of the fact that there's very little music and dance in schools. Like, for example, the dance instructor last night, besides being a professor at the local universities, she does a dance class at South High. And it's like, wow, I'm really happy about that because, they've pretty much eliminated the arts due to funding. And I'm thoroughly impressed by the variety of things that the kids did. And with the music, I was really impressed with them. Several people did classical pieces. There was a young girl, Korean girl, who won first place in her preteen, little kids 6 to 9. She won first place for the year with her Chinese zither playing. She did it again last night. A different piece, a more difficult piece. Just the cutest little thing. And then there were several singers, a couple of black girls who were obviously being raised in the church, but already they're singing from down here. They're emoting. One girl made me cry, and I'm not into Jesus, but she's singing, I believe, and she's singing it with all her heart. Gave the woman next to me goosebumps, to the dance instructor. I'm dabbing my eyes. Shit. So that's what keeps my dander up about adults acting like assholes when it comes to power and other social issues. these kids deserve a chance to grow up in a decent world. And this, God only knows what it'll be like when they're adults, and I'm probably not around. I'd like to be a lot longer, but it was very encouraging, to see. And then, the rock bands that made the finals, I could tell that they practiced since the last time I saw them. Excuse me. So that's another thing that's been happening. It's just that. I've been enjoying that. I'll sign off that because I do actually have two records that have been played besides the single that Sean gave me. I played that a couple times, it's decent. But this just popped up I was sitting out in the living room, and the B section is in the living room, and I just did a poll, and this came out. Black Dice. It's a 12-inch, double 12-inch single. Black Dice came to my attention like Wolf Eyes. This is called Smiling Off, where they use a lot of junky stuff that they wire together to make sound with. Wolf Eyes, I've met some of those guys. I like that stuff, and I like this too. This is slightly more musical. It's remixes of one track, but none of them sound like the same thing at all. And I like that collage cover too. So that's been played. And a few days ago, I pulled this. I have 2 copies of it, and you never see this version of Brian Auger's Oblivion Express. Closer to it. I posted this online in groups, and sure enough, it generated a conversation about the cover, because most people have the blue cover with the train on it. I have that one too, but this is a UK CBS pressing. Not too beat, it's slightly beat up. The cover is beat up. The record plays great. This is a really good album. Really uplifting. Happiness is just around the bend. I was showing I have a 45 of it too. But the whole album, I've always liked Brian Auger. But this is like one of those records where you put it on and the mood brightens. It almost seems like the sun comes out or shines a little better when it's on. Music is wonderful. That's all I gotta say. Music is wonderful. I'll say one thing for my family. If y'all happen to see this, folks, I hope that things are going well out there. I know that we're talking online, but I just have to say that, I hope that folks are making it, because we tend to try to help one another. And I'm in a position right now, I can't send y'all nothing right now. I have to literally hold on to what little I have, because I can't afford to live month to month. Things happen, so you try to have stuff, have money to take care of stuff. And the car has almost wiped me out. So I'm trying to get ready for this next, for the sidewalk, to pay for that, and this tree, because I'm talking to Raymond. It's like, if we can't get any help from the city, we will have to pay for it ourselves. And this tree, it needs to come down, especially with the way that we have the windstorms now. We've been very, very lucky. I've had one tree fall down in my backyard. And this one, if it falls, it'll fall on our houses. So that's on my agenda. Try to get some help with that. Okay, folks, that's what's going on with me. How are you all doing?